The coffee had gone cold 20 minutes ago. Daniel sat in the corner booth of a restaurant that was too nice for someone eating alone, turning his phone face down every few minutes, and then flipping it back over again. The candle between the empty plates flickered each time the door opened. He had counted 9 people walk in. None of them were her. He had told himself he would leave at 7:30, then 7:45. Now it was past 8, and he was on his 3rd glass of water, and the waiter had stopped making eye contact. He picked up his jacket. The chair across from him scraped back. A little girl, maybe 7 years old, dropped into the seat with the confidence of someone who had been expected. She had a crayon behind one ear and a look on her face, like she had somewhere to be but was choosing this instead. She stared at him with the particular intensity that only children and cats seem capable of. "You're sitting by yourself," she said. "I am. Did someone not come?" He looked at her. "Did your parents teach you to ask strangers that?" She shrugged. "My mom says asking questions is how you learn things." He almost smiled. "She's right." The girl leaned forward on her elbows. She had a paper menu in her hand that she clearly had no intention of reading. "My dad didn't come to my birthday," she said, as though this were a perfectly normal thing to say to a man she had never met. "He said he would, and then he didn't. Mom said sometimes people say things they don't mean." Daniel set his jacket back down. He did not know what to say. He had spent most of his adult life not knowing what to say. That had been part of the problem with Rachel, the girlfriend before the last one, and the one before that. He went quiet when he should have spoken. He spoke when he should have stayed quiet. He had spent 3 years learning the difference, and he still sometimes got it wrong. "I'm sorry about your birthday," he said finally. She nodded, like she appreciated the honesty. "It was okay. We had cake." That line sat in his chest in a way he couldn't explain. He heard the door open again, and this time the waiter moved quickly toward it, and Daniel looked up without meaning to. A woman in a dark coat was saying something apologetic to the host, one hand pressed to her chest. She had her hair slightly wind-blown, and her cheeks were flushed from cold or rushing, and she was scanning the room with the specific look of someone already bracing for the worst. Her eyes landed on him, then on the little girl sitting across from him. She stopped. She came to the table slowly, like she wasn't sure which version of this situation she had walked into. "I'm so sorry," she said. "The train," she paused. "Is she bothering you?" He looked at the girl. The girl looked at him. "No," he said. "She was keeping me company." The woman exhaled. She looked at her daughter the way people look at someone they love fiercely and find exhausting in equal measure. "Nora, we talked about this." "He was alone," Nora said simply. Something crossed the woman's face that she didn't try to hide. She sat down next to her daughter, and for a moment the 3 of them just existed there together in the candlelight, and it was strange and specific, and nothing like what Daniel had expected the evening to be. Her name was Sarah. She had not planned on being here tonight, minus her sister had arranged the date without asking, the way sisters do, and Sarah had almost canceled 4 times and had only come because Nora had been at her sister's place, and so she was picking her up afterward, and somehow that plan had collapsed into this. She told him this, the way people tell the truth when they're too tired to do anything else. "I almost left," he said. She looked at him then, not at the situation, not at the restaurant, at him. "You have kind eyes," she said. "I noticed that when I walked in." She seemed almost surprised to be saying it out loud. He didn't know what to do with that. So he said nothing, and that turned out to be the right choice. They ordered food. Nora drew on the paper menu and occasionally inserted herself into the conversation in the way that 7-year-olds do, without any sense that she was interrupting, because she wasn't. At some point, she fell asleep against her mother's arm, crayon still in her fist, and Sarah and Daniel talked across her in quieter voices. She had been left too, not at a restaurant, in a larger and slower way that had taken years to understand. He had been left in the smaller, faster way. These turned out not to matter, the size of it. What remained was the same. They stayed until the candle burned down to nothing. The waiter brought the check and didn't make it obvious. He had been waiting. Sarah tried to split it. Daniel wouldn't let her. She let it go with a look that meant she remembered. Outside, in the cold, Nora woke up just enough to say goodbye to Daniel with a gravity that made him laugh. He walked to his car alone, turned it on, and sat for a moment before going anywhere. The coffee had gone cold, but he had stayed anyway. And she had walked in. The